Really not sure what happened there. There was a complete death of OBS, so all my streaming software just completely died. So we're going to have to kick back to where we're up to now. I'm afraid this might have just split it into a different stream. I'm so sorry, everyone. Not a clue what caused that to happen there, but normally if my internet goes down it will tell me, but I think the actual software itself, OBS, just crashed instantly. So maybe we're not going to play around too much with that tonight, and yeah, hopefully avoid any further accidents. But I literally updated OBS just today as well, so it's frustrating that it's gone and done that instantly. But Alex Davidson, by the look of it, is going to take pole position here for the final round of the season. Ben Palmer is currently in second position with Matthew Crisp in third. Then it's Pete Newman, Kevin Zemstra, Andy Shiel, and then Michael Hefliderson. Then it's all of the AM drivers, currently led by Ben Gregory, James Neve, Magic Sakovic, and Philip Bjork, the privateer, currently pushing on at the moment. The session's just coming to an end now, and he's about to come round the final couple of corners. I'm so sorry about that issue there, everyone. This will have probably generated a new stream as well, which is very frustrating. Hopefully no further problems as the stream goes on. Look at the run now that Philip Bjork's going to have. Is that Heflida Johansson? It is. It's Johansson just in front that's going to give him a big old slipstream. He flings the car out of the way. And across the line goes Philip Bjork. What can he do as he crosses the line? Is it an improvement? Does not look like it, no. 2 minutes 10.2 for him. Cannot beat his time. Colin Sansom comes to the line as well. He's going to give it everything he's got as he goes up the banking slightly. And is there an improvement from Colin? No, there is not. I don't think there's anyone else due to finish a lap, although I think these boys might be working together. Matthew Crisp and Michael Hefliderson. Oh, Crispy's hit the wall. As Minardi Simsport in the chat says, Zemstra and Kenyon really have it in their Formula 1 contracts to do other motorsport activities outside of Formula 1. Yes, they do apparently. I don't condone it, but but they do. Across the line there comes Michael Hefliderson, really gunning it now as he comes into the tri-oval. Can he move up from 7th on the grid? He's second in the championship coming into this race meeting. Across the line, what sort of time is it? It's a 2:08.795, and that is slower than his best before then. So it looks to me then like Alex Davidson is going to take another final pole position as, oh, apologies, we need to look at Roger Morton, who's about to cross the line actually. He's not done with his time yet. Across the line he goes, and I can say that Roger did improve, but he didn't gain any positions. Rob Sutherland and Carl Jacquelet have not qualified, so Roger will start 20th out of the 22 cars that we're going to have on the grid this evening. But that is going to be it for qualifying. Again, apologies for the complete crash of the streaming software there, everybody. Normally I have it set so that these streams don't automatically stop and that it can sort of carry on if as long as it gets a feed again a few moments later, but typically I left it to auto stop today, and that's the one time where it absolutely dies a death. So yeah, it's typical typical software. I can only apologise, everyone. But we now have a bit of downtime for just a moment while the drivers and everybody prepare. And they'll get ready for the first race of the night. We've got 3 races this evening, 3 20-minute races coming your way. First one is going to have its grid determined by qualifying. And then, of course, we have the reverse grid for the other 2 races as well. So the session comes to a close now then. And we're going to grid up, ready for race 1. So Alex Davidson takes pole position from Ben Palmer. Matthew Crisp and Pete Newman make up row 2. Then it's Kevin Zemstra and Andy Shiel on row 3. Michael Hefliderson is next up on row 4 with Ben Gregory alongside him. Then we have championship protagonists James Neve and Magic Sakovic. 1 point between the two of them, 1 position and 1 car number. Philip Bjork is 11th ahead of Matty Wilde just behind him. And then we have Ian Manners 13th with Rob Padgham in 14th place. Next up is Heflida Johansson with Martin Kenyon 16th. Marcus Adams lines up 17th alongside Nikolai Biera. Then we have Colin Sansom in 19th place, and Result Clothing's Roger Morton rounding out the top 20. Rob Sutherland is 21st, with Carl Jacquelet joining him on the back row of the grid in 22nd place. Go back to the 90s, that's the sort of size grid that you'd have in Formula 1. And here we are on the back straight here at Daytona. The cars will have a rolling start. Oh, dearie me, Delta. That was a very sudden spawn in there of the aircraft that tends to circulate here at Daytona. But a 22-car grid is a very good one indeed. And Jakub Szymanski has noticed the team name for Kevin Zemstra and Nikolai Biera this evening. Yes, aiming for Hafley Racing. It was actually Michael Hevliderson as well that asked me to change it to that. He's currently the only car that's not on the grid. He's going to fill that gap just behind the black car on the right of his shot there. And then the black and orange machine of James Neve. That's Andy Scheel, I think, in the WSR car. It's not. It's Kevin Zemstra, actually. And it's just a solid black car. It's not the WSR machine. And boop, there he is. There is Michael Hevliderson. And we're about to get this race underway. We look back here from Alex Davidson. He is already the champion. So the ones we need to keep an eye on in terms of a championship fight are Maciej Sakovic and James Neve. Maciej in the bright yellow and green car, which you will see there on the right-hand side of your shot. And the car to his left, the black and orange machine, is the one that's trying to take the title away from him. They are locked in battle, these two. And it's going to be great to see how this one gets sorted out at the final 3 races of the season. There's plenty that can happen over the course of a night like this. Plenty of ups and downs, plenty of argy-bargy, bad luck with reverse grids and all sorts. Well, here's Alex Davidson, and next to him is Ben Palmer, the man that promised him a Domino's pizza. Other pizza providers are available if he took Morgan Butler off the road at Sandown. And Alex did just that, and that night he had himself a lovely pizza. So then, we're about to get round the final bit of banking now and level out. And before you know it, everybody, round 28 of the World Sim Racing World GR86 Series, sponsored by Buttkicker, is about to get underway. You can see Matthew Crisp really up close behind Alex Davidson now, ready for him to go, and he has gone, and we're underway and racing here at Daytona. Ben Palmer moves down the banking, so too does Pete Newman. And everybody filters their way down into turn 1 for the first time. It's a pretty sedate looking start in these cars. Ben Palmer covers the inside line. Matthew Crisp brakes nice and early. No shenanigans at the front, any shenanigans in the middle. There is Ben Gregory around the outside of Maciej Sakovic. Sakovic already ahead of James Neve in the opening couple of corners. And he's very close to Ben Gregory, actually. Ben's on his inside line into the International Horseshoe. He's a little bit late on the brakes, is Maciej. No argy-bargy at the front. Oh, Martin Kenyon there as Rob Padgham just squeeze him to the inside a little bit. As off the road has gone Matty Wild. Matty Wild is around. He's been spun. There's a big dent in the right-hand corner of the car. And hopefully no lasting damage there for Matty, and he can carry on and at least try and get back with the pack. But we all know the slipstream's important around here. Alex Davidson knows that most. Here's the battle for the lead in the AMS, and just in front of the championship leaders, Philip Bjork has a spin. Philip Bjork sending it down the inside. James Neve is back ahead of Maciej Sakovic, and so too is Martin Kenyon now. Not sure what's happened to Maciej, whether he's accumulated a slowdown penalty or something, but all of a sudden he is behind James Neve. James Neve 2 cars in front of him right now, and he's going to open up that championship gap. But this is Philip Bjork going through. Oh, excuse me. This is Philip Bjork going past, so he's on the outside of Maciej. He's then going to throw it down the inside of James Neve. Oh, he's way too hot on the brakes there, and that's why he's spun around. There's actually a bit of contact with the front of James Neve's car, and then Maciej struggles to get going again. Oh, it doesn't like that, does it? This new OBS update really doesn't like replays, so I might not risk that too much tonight, sorry. I do love a replay, you all know that, but we might not risk them too much over the course of this evening in the interests of not crashing the software once again. Looking back now from Alex Davidson, there is Ben Palmer behind him. Ben's either going to push him or try and go around him. It looks like he's going to push. He is. And then Crispy is going to push Ben, I think. Maybe not. It's a bit dangerous to push when you're the second car in the train. Here comes Pete Newman. Crispy's not got a chance to push anybody. He's going to get boxed in. Palmer looks down the inside of Davidson. Newman has to get on the brakes. Matthew Crisp is still on the inside. And then just behind all this is Andy Scheel with a front row seat to this fun and games near the front of the pack. Pete Newman still on his right hand side. Andy Andy trying to keep the car nice and tucked in. Ben's not going to have a go at Alex Davidson. You can see him flashing the lights on the brakes there, making sure that he's let them know what's going on. Rob Padgham has had a drama. He's down at turn 1 and he's trying to get going again, but I think the car's a little bit broken, is it? Seems like that left rear is a little bit broken. We're going to risk a replay? Yeah, we are. Just the transition might not be fantastic. So this is Padgham on the inside. Oh, he's just lost it himself. Just loses the back end of the car. Oh no, Maciej Sakovic! Sakovic is off the road and backwards, and that's big for the championship. That is big, big news for the championship. Oh, the fonts and everything have gone all funny now. There we go. But Maciej Sakovic, wow. Maciej goes completely backwards down the field. See if we can... There we go. It's figured it out now. So this is Martin Kenyon side by side with Maciej Sakovic. Oh, Martin's run wide, and I think Maciej... Oh, he's just going to clip the curb, and there's big contact. Big contact with Martin. Oh, goodness me, Maciej. That's big, big news for the championship. Ben Gregory still leads the AM class. He's going to be happy with that, but he's not going to be happy about the fact he's all on his own. James Neve has got Nikolai Biera and Ian Manners right behind him. And look at this further back, Marcus Adams with Rob Sutherland, Carl Jacquelet. Both of those guys have gained 7 places each so far in this race. Rob's a great supporter of some of the other leagues that I run and take part in. He's awesome, is Rob. Really lovely bloke. He's got a great team behind him as well. RD Simsport, fantastic supporters, like I say, of the leagues that I'm sorting out. Go back to the front of the field though. Alex Davidson still getting shoved by Ben Palmer. 4 minutes of the race gone. We're not going to get many laps around here actually over the course of the evening. That camera I still need to turn down. I made that one ages ago and it's very, 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 very loud. As Andy Scheel, Mr. Scheel is sideways and he saves it. Oh no! This car has a stupid amount of grip at slow speed. And Scheel is around, and oh, Zemstra's around as well. Ben Gregory's off. Ben Gregory's on. He's, oh God. Hopefully not going to get in everyone's way. Jesus, that was Ian Manners going through. And now the replays have sorted themselves out. Andy goes around the outside, and he's just a little bit too hot into there. He nearly saves it though. That was the downshift kicking it sideways. And Zemstra loses it on his own, and then Gregory throws the car off the road in avoidance. Hits the wall very hard as well. Wow. It's all kicking off here at Daytona already in the World Sim Racing World GR86 Series. But onto the banking once more they go, and it's Matthew Crisp. It's all over the back of Ben Palmer. But look, he's not sitting in the slipstream here. He doesn't want to pressure Ben. That's him saying to Ben, look, I'm not going to go for a move. I'm not going to try anything on you. Carl Jacquelet has had a spin and has now got back going again. So he's continued on, which is good. He's just making sure that he's not in anybody else's way. We go back to Matthew Crisp, and look, he's backing off for him being right up behind Ben Palmer here. Just going to be nice and tidy through there. One way then the other, you've got to manage the weight transfer so well through there. And now look, Ben is pushing, pushing, pushing. Just a moment ago when we looked back at Carl Jacquelet, you could see Maciej Sakovic going past Roger Morton. He's still getting away from Roger as well. But Ben Palmer playing the game at the moment with Alex Davidson, just giving him a shove down the straight. Further back there's been a move between James Neve and Nikolai Biera. Across the line, there you go, and there is James Neve, and look at this, Andy Scheel through the middle of Biera and Manners. That's Manners in the green and blue car on the bottom line. Andy Scheel is going to overspeed past a lot of them. Is he going to make it around the outside this time? He's got a little bit deep once again into turn 1. Oh, dearie me, Ben Gregory's just headbutted Rob Sutherland down at turn 1. Rob Sutherland gets the fright of his life and he's off the road. I'm not sure if Ben was a little bit too over-exuberant in trying to come by. Oh, he's down the inside and oh, he's moved out of the way. Ben was down the inside of... Who was that there? Was that Biera? Ben was on his inside and then all of a sudden he was not. And Rob now has to try and recover after what was a great start to the race. He and Carl Jacquelet both had dramas. got a big chunk missing out of the left rear of the car. He's got Matty Wilde all over the back of him now, and then Philip Bjork as well. Oh, car's a little bit unstable on the brakes by the look of it. Matty Wilde pushing as well, but James Neve, he's having the perfect race at the moment. His championship rival Maciej Sakovic is near the back of the AM class, all the way down there in 18th, while James is car 7P7 once again, right up at the top of the order. And he's going to be super excited to see whether he can win this championship tonight. Already 8 minutes down here at Daytona. And if you look at the gaps on the left-hand side, you can see the main difference here. Got the top 5 separated by about 2 seconds, then about another 10 or 11 seconds back from them. Funnily enough to these guys, Andy Shield, James Neve and Ian Manners, the top couple really just dragging each other along in the slipstream. Flying formation here for Matthew Crisp and Pete Newman side by side. Both of them trying to benefit from the slipstream in front, and Davidson and Palmer were higher up before, giving the slipstream to Pete Newman, but now they're not. And there's plenty going on here as well, actually. We need to look at this, because look, we've got Martin Kenyon and Nikolai Biera side by side. Then we've got Herfliede Johansson, Kevin Zemstra in the black car. Marcus Adams wants a bit of this as well. They just all need to be careful about moving around when they're lingering on the rear bumper of the cars in front. But this is proper NASCAR stuff. Marcus has backed out of it. There's going to be a big check-up here. Oh, Martin's late on the check-up. Oh, Martin comes from an oval background and he should know this. Marcus Adams is going to go into the pit wall. Oh, no. I would have thought out of all people, the first one to back out would have been Martin Kenyon. Mainly races in oval stuff, and, well, he's just gone ploughing into the back of Herfliede Johansson there. And that will not go down well at all. Nikolai Biera manages to survive that. I think one of the cars bounced off the side of him, to be honest with you. And he got away with that lightly. Now, this battle inside the top 5 is meaning that basically the top 2 can get away here. It's Pete Newman against the teammates of Matthew Crisp and Michael Herfliederson, the AM Racing team, not in the same livery, but racing together for championship points, trying to beat Pure Sims Esports this season. And considering that Pure Sims Esports don't have both of their drivers here, then I'm sure that you would have thought it'd be a definite win for AM Racing Team. But it's never that straightforward, is it, in motorsport? Never. Ben Palmer doing a great job at the moment, though, as you'd expect, really. Like I say, Ben's a very accomplished racer in the real world. Raced in the Mini Challenge JCW series as well, which supported the British Touring, well, supports the British Touring Car Championship now, used to support the British GT Championship as well. And I was lucky enough to be Ben's photographer and social media manager for the 2019 season, and we had one hell of a laugh, I can tell you that. As this moves up and down the order now, drivers changing around as you see. Crispy and Herfliederson working together to get past Pete Newman. And then further back we've got Rob Sutherland and Philip Bjork side by side. Maciej Sakovic and Matty Wilde are in this as well, but just not quite in the picture. Ben Chalcraft in the chat saying that's a clean overtake in NASCAR. It is, absolutely is. I can't stand watching NASCAR these days because they can just push each other out of the way and get away with it. And it's like they treat it like it's fine. I just don't get it, and they like retaliation. Hopefully there's no retaliation here, because Philip Bjork is very close to Rob Sutherland, who's now only got one brake light. I think Bjork's overdone that. There you go. I've seen so many people get it wrong into there, and I can just tell you he's got it wrong, I'm afraid. Philip Bjork just going in that little bit too hot. It's so hard to get a car slowed down properly when you really push into there. And once it does start to go around, it goes around, my friend. Kevin Zemstra recovering now after his earlier off. He's ahead of Martin Kenyon, and then he's got Nikolai Biera just behind him. Martin in this gorgeous Spirit of Yorkshire machine. Love the liveries that Martin does. They always look really, really tasty. But now he's having to defend from Biera, who's actually got a really good run. Down the inside goes Nikolai. The two of them right together as they go onto the banking. Martin tries to squeeze across the front and get rid of that overlap. I don't think he's going to do it yet. Yes, he is, actually. Fantastic stuff by Martin. He's got a great run, but look at how much Zemstra has disappeared now up the road. We're 12.5 minutes through this race. Like I've said, 3 races coming your way tonight here to finish the season. And all of them are going to be great fun. Nikolai Biera gets one hell of an overspeed. Dives down to the bottom of the banking. Moves to the left-hand side over Martin Kenyon. Onto the brakes he goes. And he's going to have the inside line for the bus stop chicane. Nice job. And then Colin Sansom just behind them has a front row seat to watch all of this. Matty Wilde, Rob Sutherland and Maciej Sakovic is the next little trio. Sakovic, of course, hoping for championship points in the AM Class Championship. It's an important night for Maciej to try and win that. You can see him now just closing onto the back of Rob Sutherland. Not by a massive amount, though. I'm wondering whether there is any damage that's affecting the car from earlier, because Rob has very clearly closed on Matty Wilde a lot quicker. Whether it's just a long-term effect. Wow, actually, look at the overspeed now from Maciej. Is he going to headbutt Matty Wilde? He's going to give him a bit of a push. Yeah, it's not too massive a hit, just to make sure it doesn't upset him too much. As he has to get slamming on the brakes there. Rob Sutherland tries to throw the car around the outside. Matty Wilde sideways, Rob Sutherland sideways, and Maciej, well, he's going to get one freebie. Can he get another? Matty Wilde in the wall, though. Whoa, hello. That was Roger Morton having a bit of a moment there. It's so easy to just put yourself in a bit of a tricky situation when these moments come around. But this is your race leader, Alex Davidson, flying at the moment, doing everything he can to continue to lead this race. And Ben Palmer, well, he's not really challenging him too much, is he? He's just sitting there, happy to follow on, is Ben, at this moment in time. He's not going to do too much to upset his fellow Pure Sims driver, as this is the battle now between Martin Kenyon, Nikolai Biera and Colin Sansom. Nikolai doesn't want to leave much room down there, does he? Kissing wing mirrors all the way around the banking. He wants to try and tuck in and get as much slipstream as he can off Martin Kenyon, but the two of them need to be so careful leaning on each other like this. All it's going to take is one little rub too much or a bit of retaliation here just to put a bit of lock on, and both of them are going to go spearing off the road. Oh, Colin needs to be careful edging over. He is giving him a bit of a bash here and there. And onto the brakes, into the bus stop. Oh, Colin's overdone it. Colin was so eager. Wow, how's he got that stopped? He was so eager to get down the inside of Nikolai Biera. He's actually made the move stick. Martin Kenyon had to jump out of the way, though, to make it work. And that's not how we want to see the move being made, but fair play, Colin. Got it stopped as, oh dearie me, Matty Wilde kissing the wall on the way into the bus stop there to make sure he doesn't hit the side of Philip Bjork. Back to the front. And it's still Alex Davidson from Ben Palmer, Michael Hafliderson now, Matthew Crisp and then Pete Newman. Matthew Crisp just did the fastest lap of the race last time round. And we're into the final quarter of this race right now. And I, for one, am excited to see whether anyone will challenge Alex Davidson at the end of this race. You can bet your bottom dollar that Ben Palmer will. Ben may be playing the team game at the moment in second place, but I can tell you he's not going to muck about when it comes to trying to get a race win in his first meeting in the season. He's a racing driver at heart. Michael Hafliderson goes down the inside, late on the brakes, gets it stopped nicely. Ben tries to get the run on the exit, gives him a bit of a tap, a bit of friendly encouragement. I'm just going to check Discord because I imagine... No, they're not in the same chat, actually. Normally they are, but we've got Kevin Zemstra, Matthew Crisp, Michael Hafliderson and Nikolai Biera in the same chat. Alex Davidson is in there with Pete Newman, Ben Palmer and Andy Shield. And Jack Collette is in there with Neve Morton. And that's it, actually, between those guys. I've been told we're losing a bunch of frames here and there. I'm really sorry. I'm not quite sure why that is. But hopefully whatever's causing it is stopping, because we've had multiple technical issues already this evening, which doesn't bode well. Here comes Ben Palmer back down the inside of Michael Hafliderson. Tries to call out his commitment, but Hafley gets it into the bus stop chicane. Lovely job. Now Ben's going to get the run on the exit, is he? Can he get to the left-hand side? Oh, he's under the apron, and he's got to back out of that one. Surprised there's no flashing of the lights there from Ben Palmer. I know there would be from me. As Crispy's now going to hit the back of Hafley's car. Give him a big overspeed push down the start-finish straight. Ben's come up to the right a little bit. Crispy comes across. Crispy tries to cut down low and somehow survives the contact. I don't know where he thought Ben was going to go there, though. Oh, there's another touch on the way in. I think Ben cut his nose off there as if to say, go on then, where do you want me to... where do you think you can go now? Another battle further back. Kenyon's got Adams all over the back of him. Then Nikolai Biera. It looks like, actually, in this as well, Colin Sansom has been re-overtaken by these guys after his rather flamboyant move down into the bus stop a couple of laps ago. 17 3/4 minutes done here at Daytona, so I think we're only going to get one more lap after this. As down the... Oh, Marcus Adams overdoes it. Martin Kenyon then overdoes it. Marcus Adams is still overdoing it. They're 3 wide. Nikolai Biera has to get out of it. And suddenly Colin Sansom finds himself 2 places higher up once again here at Daytona. Great scrapping going on. As he's a little bit late on the brakes there. I think Kenyon had to get out of the brakes slightly to make sure he didn't go around. As Colin's just drilled him. Come on, Colin. Colin's on the warpath tonight. Wow. He really doesn't want Martin Kenyon to finish this race. That's twice now a bit of over-exuberance, unfortunately, from Colin Sansom. Pushing a little bit too hard in his Year 1 machine. But Roger Morton was off the road as well until just a moment ago. Not quite sure what happened to him. We'll try and risk a replay and have a look. Oh, he's overdone it into turn 1. Is he going to have another secondary spin on the exit? Or is he not going to account for Matty Wilde? Oh, no, he has lost it. Whoa, wow. That's a big old moment. And I tell you what, he nearly found the other guys going the other way there. Flipping heck. It was a proper off, that was, for Roger Morton. Now then, let's go on board with Pete Newman, because you're going to see a first-hand view here of an amazing battle in front between these guys. You can see Crispy on the right, Ben Palmer on the left, Hafliderson just in front. It's going to be one more lap to go after this. Alex Davidson is now the race leader by, barely a car length. Look at this, Hafliderson down the inside. Crispy's got nowhere to go. He's boxed to the outside. Hafliderson goes through, makes it into the race lead. There's a little bit of a touch, nothing too untoward between them. Ben Palmer's still on the inside. That becomes the outside, then the inside again. Pete Newman's down the inside of Matthew Crisp. Into the International Horseshoe we go, hard onto the brakes. The nose of the cars dip down into the ground, and Hafliderson makes it through. Cuts the nose off Alex Davidson and says, nope, you can commit to that corner all you want, mate. I'm going through. And now Matthew Crisp is down the inside of Ben Palmer. They're going to kiss wing mirrors once again as they go through to the kink. These two have definitely got no love lost here. Crispy has to be careful not to turn in. Oh, he gives him a rub. Again, just a bit of contact here and a bit of contact there. It's going to end in tears if they're not careful. Oh, Crispy pushing hard on the exit as well. Kicks the back end out. But it's still Michael Hafliderson leading the race. Colin Sansom's had another drama, I'm afraid, since his previous one. Let's have a look quickly before they get onto the banking. So he's trying to have another go here at Martin Kenyon. Into turn 1. And he's just overdone it. He's going to clip the grass. Well, he's lucky he doesn't hit the barrier, to be fair. And I'd say he gets away with that. Here we go then, round the banking towards the bus stop for the final time in this race. Race 1, round 28 of the World GR86 Series tonight. And look at the overspeed there from Alex Davidson. I don't think he's going to try it into the bus stop. He's going to give him a shove. Wow, here the revs suddenly spike up there from Hafliderson. It's going to be Alex Davidson, though, surely, that's going to take this, because you don't want to be the car leading the train when they come round the final corner. Davidson second, Hafliderson in front, Ben Palmer in third. Keep your eye on Ben Palmer, actually. Ben could win this race. I think Ben will win this race, unless he lets Alex take the win. They're going up the banking, he's making him go the long way round. But listen to the revs, they're flying up through the revs now, and it's going to be Davidson to the line. Is he going to move out the way of Palmer? Palmer's not going to have anywhere to go here. There could be an accident. No, he's going to cut down, is he? But no, he's not. It's going to be Alex Davidson that takes the win. Crispy goes below the apron, tries to beat Hafliderson to the line, but it's Davidson, Palmer, Hafliderson. Fantastic, fantastic fun as they all go spinning and flying into the barriers come the end of that epic, epic race. Great, great fun between them. And it's going to be Ian Manners that takes the win in the AM class. Very well done to Ian Manners. Brilliant stuff. Car 52 takes the win in AM, and he's going to do that ahead of James Neve. Somehow, Maciej Sakovic is going to get third, is he? He's got Nikolai Biera alongside, and he does. Sakovic gets third in the AM class and gives James Neve a good old run for his money. These two joining in the shenanigans as well as they clatter into each other. Maybe a little bit over the top there by Nikolai Biera afterwards. Pete Newman enjoyed a good 5th place finish in that race. But wow, that was a certainly busy encounter to say the least. We've still got cars crossing the line there. Roger Morton is going to be the next car through the tri-oval. He finishes in 18th position. Next up is going to be Ben Gregory in car number 27. Rob Sutherland is apparently out of the race. He's completed 9.8 laps and Ben Gregory has gone past him. Yeah, he's actually he's come to a stop. Oh no, is he out of fuel? He's out of fuel, isn't he? This is Matty Wilde going past him. Yeah, it's out of fuel. He's underfueled it as Rob Sutherland. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, Rob Sutherland underfuels the car. But Alex Davidson will take the race win. I think actually we're waiting for... Is Carl Jacquelet out of fuel? Is Carl out of fuel? I'm not sure what's going on, but Carl's car will not move. And, well, we were waiting for the session to tick down, but it seems like the sim's gone stuff it. Carl's not finishing. Alex Davidson takes the win then, 69 thousandths ahead of Ben Palmer, with Michael Hafliderson finishing 3rd. Then we have Matthew Crisp in 4th and Pete Newman 5th, ahead of Andy Shield in 6th. Then it's Ian Manners and James Neves 7th and 8th, Kevin Zemstra 9th, Magic Sakovic 10th, Nikolai Biera in 11th, with Martin Kenyon 12th. Then it's Matty Wilde, Colin Sansom, Philip Bjork, Rob Padgham, Roger Morton and Marcus Adams, followed by Ben Gregory, and then the cars one lap down were Rob Sutherland, Carl Jacquelet and Herflida Johansson. So then, it's just about time, everybody, for the reverse grid spinny wheel. Let's bring this up on our screens and we'll give it a spin, shall we, and see what the reverse grid is going to be for tonight. This is for the first race of the evening, and the reverse grid is going to be 16, so it's not even a full reverse grid, which is pretty cool. So that means that the driver that finished that race in 16th place, which is Philip Bjork, is going to start from pole position in this next race, which is going to be great to see. He's going to be happy to take pole position in the second race of the night, I'm sure. But a great first race there with loads of slipstreaming going on. Very, very difficult for these drivers to get it right, and, well, you could see some awesome battling going on there. We're just going to take a quick break here on Chaz Drake on Media. We're going to go to some adverts, and then we're going to get ready for the second race of the night. But do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with you. 4 French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. They're 3 wide again. Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across. They're both in front of Milan and Pouget.
But before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see truck racing and they think, this is crazy. You know, these are 5-ton machines, 1,200 horsepower brake. Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, he's been mugged and it's ready to go out. Ben Gregory now, I love it. 16.5 minutes gone. Senna Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. visit iRacing.com.
Hello again everybody, Chaz Draycott here for the final meeting in the World Sim Racing World GR86 series from Daytona. As you can see, for round 29 of the championship, things have gotten a lot darker. It's going to be almost a sunset finish here for these final couple of races tonight. I think the last one is going to be fully under lights, and well, there is a big difference right now between James Neve and Maciej Sakovic. Their championship points battle will go right down to the wire. But I tell you what, James Neve is going to be a very happy boy after that race, because there was so much going on for Maciej in that race, and he had a lovely straightforward run, did James. The headlights have literally just come on here at Daytona. And if I have a quick look at the standings on the website that we have, just trying to see if it's updated actually, between James and Maciej. There is, yes, 3 points between them now. 12.46 for James Neve, 12.43 for Maciej. So 3 points between them, as opposed to the one that there was between the last meeting and this one. So plenty to think about, plenty to look at. Loads of drivers that could potentially take a win in this second and even the third race here tonight. Because of all the slipstreaming and so on, it really does level the playing field sometimes, but you have to play it clever. You have to really think about what you're doing, play it safe at points. I'm just waiting now to see what sort of times come up on the board, because it's going to be a lot cooler. Ben Gregory with a 209.456. If we show you the weather on the right hand side, it's only 25 degrees track temperature. 8:15 in the evening here in the sim as well, so it's not going to be completely night time by the time that this race is done, but it's going to be getting there. I think the final one is going to be fully under lights. It always looks good here as well at Daytona, because there's quite a bit of floodlighting around the circuit, so it's exciting to see how that fills the place. Got a couple of drivers with no car numbers that are sort of remaining consistent, but it's, you know, when we've got a couple of drivers coming in last minute, the numbers get assigned by iRacing based on when you join the session. So Kevin Zemstra has taken Ben Palmer's number 2 this time round, and he was number 12, I think, earlier on. Carl Jacquelet has got his number 15 once again. Carl had quite the poor end to the race, grinding to a halt. Same too for Rob Sutherland, who unfortunately ran out of fuel at the end of the last one. I don't think he's actually in the session yet for this next one. And Matty Wilde has said in the Discord that he hopes that I got the footage of him overtaking 3 cars into turn 1, although he died at turn 1 the following lap. Yeah, he didn't have the best of times up there. Maciej has apparently saved his replay as GR86 I should have died, because he had a bit of a drama in that race, to say the least. And I can tell you that Rob Sutherland is still not in this session as yet. He wasn't very happy with Ben Gregory after the incident in the first race as well, I can tell you that, understandably so. It was just a car going one way then the other, and then suddenly ploughed him. Look at the lighting here at Daytona for this second race of the night, as everybody disappears and everything will now reset. So you'll see the lighting change, you'll see all of it progress slightly, and yeah, the sun has gone down that little bit more, hasn't it, between that warm-up session and this race. Rob Padgham starts on pole position alongside Philip Bjork. Then it's Colin Sansom and Matty Wilde. Then it's Martin Kenyon and Nikolai Biera. Maciej Sakovic starts 7th with Kevin Zemstra, the highest placed pro driver. James Neve and Ian Manners just behind. Then we have Andy Shiel and Pete Newman on row 6, ahead of Matthew Crisp and Michael Haflidason. Then we have Ben Palmer and Alex Davidson on row 8, ahead of Roger Morton and Marcus Adams. Ben Gregory is next up in 19th place, Carl Jacquelet 20th, and Haflida Johansson will start at the back of the grid in 21st. So as before, we're going to start on the back straight here at Daytona. There they are, all lined up and ready to go. I'm honestly just lucky that the blimp is there at the moment. It doesn't really aim at the cars on the setup that I've got for it at the moment. And we might get a lovely shot of them starting to move as well, actually, which is very fortunate timing, because this just circles no matter what, this camera. I've set it to just circle gradually over Daytona. It was set up for a nice grid shot a long time ago. But I'd say that's perfect timing here on the broadcast. And we get to see everybody making their way out of the bus stop, and you get to see all the lighting as well, which has gotten so much better over the last couple of years here on iRacing. And the field makes their way around the last bit of banking to then head on to turns 3 and 4, NASCAR 3 and 4 as they call it. Here's Michael Hafliderson in the middle of the field. He's got his teammate Matthew Crisp just in front of him there, ready to do battle. But there's so many cars that could win this race. Like I say, it's all about the drivers that can make their way through the pack nice and tidy and not get caught up in the slipstreaming battles and not get held up on the infield as well. That's going to be one of the main things. Keep your eye on Kevin Zemstra as well, the black number 2 car on the outside of the grid there. He could definitely be one to watch in this race. But with Rob Padgham at the front, round 29 of the World GR86 Series gets underway in noisy fashion as they go across the line. Colin Sansom and Philip Bjork are disputing second place. Colin Sansom getting ahead. Sakovic is ahead of Nikolai Biera already. Sansom wants to cut the nose off of Bjork. He's trying to have a go down the inside as well on Rob Padgham. Anybody having a bit of a moment? Looks like everybody gets through safely, do they? A little bit of a check up a bit further back, to be fair. Someone going over the grass on the right hand side there. I think that was Biera. Here's Philip Bjork in third place. Martin Kenyon just behind. Colin Sansom in second place behind Rob Padgham. Doesn't look like there's been any dramas further back either. Fantastic start by everybody. Very well done. Kept it nice and tidy so far, touch wood. So, Bjork then going through the kink. He's got pressure from behind from Martin Kenyon. They've all got to be so careful of their braking zones here, though, not to overdo it, not to go into the back of the car in front like that. There's Ian Manners off the road. Michael Hafliderson. James Neve is off. James Neve is involved in that. The championship hopeful in the AM class. He's off the road. Colin Sansom has thrown one down the inside of Rob Padgham. The two of them float the back end of the car sideways off the exit of the corner, and Maciej Sakovic is up 3 places and involved in this. Suddenly the tables turn. I told you, this is what happens in this sort of championship. The positions go one way then the other very, very quickly. The Sky Lovely in pink there behind the banking as they go around for the first time. They all need to behave themselves here. They all need to be so, so careful. Look at that for the front. Philip Bjork makes his way through. Colin Sansom is in the middle of that. Oh, dearie me. Colin. Oh, he's gone over to the right. He carried on going right when he got a bump. I'm not sure how argy-bargy it's going to get to the bus stop. Has everyone made it through? I think Rob Padgham's off. Oh, Padgham's car's destroyed in the middle of the road. It was Rob Padgham, wasn't it, that was involved initially with Colin Sansom. So this is how it all happened. Let's just keep our eye on this. So Colin Sansom, the black and neon green and pink car at the front. You've then got Rob Padgham all the way over to the right. Now he clips the back, and he's sort of coming left, and then Colin, as he loses it, I think he just overcorrects on the save. And then Rob Padgham is, he's just going to, wow, that's a big old off. That's a big off into the bus stop, and then just gets clipped by 2 cars as they go through there. Matty Wild is now off at turn 1. He's had a drama. Flipping heck. It's kicked off. Philip Bjork leads the race though. Maciej Sakovic next up. We need to have a look at what happened to James Neve and company a bit further back. I think Ian Manners was the one that initially had the drama here. That's James Neve in the black and orange car on the left. Ian Manners on the inside. Oh, Ian's lost it on the brakes and hit James and Hafliderson. So the 52 racing cars in both situations here involved in incidents in the opening lap. Now this is Kevin Zemstra with fellow black car enthusiast Andy Shield going past him. Oh, goodness me. Contact between the two of them as well. No one's scared of making contact here, are they? Flipping heck. It may be production car style racing, but flip. They really do love a bit of contact here and there. So unfortunately the 252 racing cars out of this race at the moment. There's Andy Shield down the inside of Nikolai Biera. Lovely move by Andy, taking advantage. Martin Kenyon's made it back to the pits. James Neve is still down there in 18th place. We stay on board now though with Kevin Zemstra as he tries to at least stay with the pro drivers in front. He's actually got Matthew Crisp about a second and a half back. He's trying to defend from Ben Palmer in their own little battle as Sakovic goes to the front. Maciej Sakovic takes the lead of the race. That's really important for the AM Championship. Maciej could potentially open up an unassailable lead here over James Neve, because it's first and 18th. The gap is only 3 points. But now look, there's Pete Newman getting involved in this. Pete goes one way and then carries on moving up. And is that Alex Davidson in 4th? That's Alex Davidson. Alex Davidson started this race in 16th position, and at the end of lap 2, he's in 2nd place. And Pete Newman started in 12th, and he's into the lead at the end of lap 2. Unbelievable. Andy Shield making waves as well. He started 12th, and he's actually now into 5th place. He started 11th, did Andy? Oh, who's that around? Is that Biera? No, it's not Biera. Biera's involved in that. Oh, Gregory and Havlidi Johansson involved in an incident there. Just trying to figure out who the other car was that went off. Someone else came to a stop but then carried on. I think it was Ben Palmer. So Matthew Crisp and Ben Palmer having dramas into turn 1. So Ben tries to carry the speed in, goes around the outside. Oh, and on the downshift, the car has just let go on him. What happened with Gregory? Oh, Gregory's been hit by Havlidi Johansson. Apologies. I said that Ben hit Havlidi. That's not how it's gone. Oh, my God. Oh, no, there's cars around. Nikolai Biera in front of the field. Sorry, not Nikolai Biera. I keep getting him and Bjork mixed up. The 2 Scandinavian drivers, that's all they're going to get known as now. Suddenly, Alex Davidson and Andy Shield battle for the lead of this race. No one wants to win. Nobody at all wants to win this race. Philip Bjork is still dropping down. Andy Shield's there somewhere on the outside of Alex Davidson. Maciej Sakovic still involved in this and leading the AM division. Oh my goodness me. Andy has to get out of that to stop turning his teammate around. They're all just not being careful enough with the bump drafting. They really aren't. Sakovic now goes into 3rd. Matthew Crisp goes into the race lead. Kevin Zemstra's next up. Philip Bjork is off the road again. The car must be broken. Oh, that's not a good noise. And here we go. Matthew Crisp leads it. Alex Davidson, that is Alex there saying, I'm not trying to get past you. I'm not trying to get past you. But what he's doing is trying to get past, because he's moving over to the right. I think he's saying to Andy, use this line. Let's go up here. And he's taking Maciej Sakovic with him as well. Sakovic in the middle of this. Now Alex comes down in front of Matthew Crisp. He's now going to get the slipstream. 2 by 2 they go across the line. Davidson, Sakovic, Crisp and Shield. Sakovic staying up high. Colin Sansom has just come into the pits. I'm surprised he wasn't in a lap earlier with the damage that he would have had. Matthew Crisp leading the... Sakovic leading the AM class. God, I really can't get my names right tonight. Zemstra in there just behind them as well. He's now brought Pete Newman into the picture. Marcus Adams is 2nd in the AM class. Nikolai Biera is next up behind them. Shield puts it down the inside of Maciej. So close to contact, and that would be championship deciding almost if Maciej lost a load of places. There's James Neve up to. He's currently up into 15th place here with Matty Wild and Havlidi Johansson just in front of him. James is working hard here to push on and gain what places he can. He's going to try and go later than Matty on the brakes down the inside. He wants this AM championship. And there's another place gained for James Neve up to 14th. Back with this, Andy Shield ahead of Kevin Zemstra and Pete Newman. Maciej Sakovic is the car ahead, and he's got a good few places between himself and his nearest AM rival in this race, Marcus Adams. Marcus driving the neon green machine there, the Venus Semantics car. It is almost going to be fully nighttime. God, what's up with me tonight? It's going to be fully nighttime by the time we finish this race, I reckon, and then the last one is going to be complete darkness. Other than the headlights, it's going to be a great looking occasion to finish the championship with. James Neve going through on Johansson, and that's it. Oh, good. Well, Matty Wild has a crash in sympathy. A big one. And James Neve is around again, and that has surely got to be AM Championship out the window. Johansson just turned into him. There's no other way of saying it. James was on the inside. Johansson is actually edging ahead a little bit there, but James goes through down the inside, and yeah, Havlidi just clips the back end of him. Matty Wild goes flying into the barriers. That's a massive accident. James Neve, he's still only in 15th place, but it's not going to help at all. Pete Newman's had a drama somewhere. Oh, he's going backwards. Pete Newman completely around on the exit of turn 1. Nikolai Biera and Ben Palmer going past Pete. See what's happened here. Is he just going to lose it himself? Oh, he hits the back of Kevin Zemstra. Just a little bit overzealous on corner exit, maybe hoping that he can just push Kevin out of the corner. And unfortunately, Pete has had to recover, and he's now 14th. Here's his Pure Sims Esports stablemate Alex Davidson leading the way. Definitely the last day of school, isn't it, everybody? Matthew Crisp, 2nd place. Sakovic still in 3rd. He's having a great race now. Considering how it went earlier on, he's going to be loving life at this moment in time. Great race for Majek at this point. He's got Andy Shield and Kevin Zemstra behind him. Hoping to make something else of it at this point. And in terms of the spread of the field, they are all sort of in one train, just there's a few stragglers that have been knocked off based on different incidents. A mixture of pros and AMs, as you see on the left hand side of your screen. The red stripes are the pros, the blue stripes are the AMs. Sakovic leads AM, Davidson leads the race and the pro class outright. Right together now, Shield and Sakovic. Shield going around the outside. Sakovic moves up slightly there, as if to say, go on, try it a little bit. Dare you. Matthew Crisp is just pushing Alex Davidson at this point as well for the race lead. Just shoving him down the straight. Look how much Shield can close in on the brakes there, just because of the fact that he doesn't have to compromise his own pace for another car in front of him. You know, he's got that gap to sort of chew into on the brakes, and all of a sudden he is right off the back of Matthew Crisp, and he's going to look to the inside. He's Andy Shield. He's going to go for the move as well. Tries as late as he dares on the brakes. Lovely move by Andy Shield up to 2nd place. Series admin getting it done. They're all in the same car, and there's no no ballast or anything for anybody. Shield has done that off his own back. There's no fix for him being an admin. Great stuff. Bit of a check-up now into the 2nd hairpin. Look at the way this car turns in, man. You've got to be so good at carrying the pace. We've got a few stragglers waiting to cling on to this. We've got Ben Palmer there, then Nikolai Biera. You can see why I get the two confused, can't you? There's Ben, there's Nikolai. One's got blue number boards, one's got red. That's pretty much the only difference between the two in terms of their liveries. Maybe a slight difference in terms of one of them being blackish, the other one being a grey. Not much else to talk about though in terms of that. There's the lovely spec map on show there. You can see the sheen of the WSR logo down the side of the car compared to the matte texture of the rest of it. But as Andy Shield looks back behind him, he knows that these guys aren't going to be trying to go for a move yet, because Alex Davidson in front is starting to get away slightly. Look. Oh, Andy pushes it hard through the bus stop chicane. What's Crispy's run going to be like? It's not colossal. He's not getting a massive amount of time back on him yet, but it sort of winds up. There's a curve to it, you see. And there's the push on the back of Andy Shield. Again, he's being careful, moving around behind him. It's way too easy in Matthew Crisp's position to turn him around. But look at the overspeed they've got on Alex Davidson. You can see Crispy backed out of it as if to say, yeah, I'm not going to go for the lead. Andy says, stuff it, I'm going to wind my teammate up. He's already won the championship. Tries to go around the outside. Crispy's gone in deep, and then Andy, well, Andy just tucks back to the inside line. Stays ahead of Majek Sakovic. Marcus Adams and Ben Palmer are getting friendly. Now, I'm not sure on Marcus's real-world racing experience, but I know that the team Venus Semantics is based on, or is at least run by, a bunch of real-world drivers that race in the Silver Lake C1 Challenge. Oh, Majek's off the road. Is he? Yeah, Andy Shield and Majek are off the road. Andy Shield's dropping down. I thought I heard contact, but then Ben Palmer and... well, Ben Palmer got squeezed off the road on the left-hand side by Marcus, and he's not happy about it. Look, there's the send down the inside by Ben. Big send, as Marcus again is rubbing the back of Ben's car. Andy and Majek going off the road here. They were battling for third place. Has Andy lost it on his own and collected Majek? He has. Oh, and he runs wide, and then... Oh, there's more contact with Zemstra. Oh, I've gone to the wrong Ben. Now, if we go back to Ben Palmer here, you'll see it all happen in front of us, actually. You can see Kevin Zemstra's the black car there. So Ben tries it around the outside. Oh, I'm afraid Marcus just hasn't left room there. Just hasn't left him any room on the exit of the corner. A little bit naughty from Adams. Ben Palmer is now in front and starting to get away slightly, but here's your lead battle. Alex Davidson and Matthew Crisp able to fight it out amongst themselves now. Two drivers that have had great battles so far this season. They've had plenty of them. Philip Bjork and Colin Sansom have come to blows. Hopefully not together. Oh no, that's a car around in front. That's Carl Jacquelet. That's Philip Bjork. And then this is what happened to Colin Sansom. He's clipped the grass on the way into the kink, has he? No. Seems okay into there. Has he just gone in too hot? Or is he just going to have a spin on the exit here? It's so easy to do if he just clipped the grass on the left-hand side. No. Oh, it's actually a while after Bjork's issue. Is he going to do it here on the grass? Yeah, he's clipped the grass there and he's going in. Colin Sansom just having an innocent little spin there. Partway around as Shield has now got her Flyderson and Carl Jacquelet with him. That's through turn 1. But that means now, while Marcus Adams was a little bit naughty with Ben Palmer, he does lead the AM class right now. Majek Sakovic has dropped to second in said class. Where's James Neve? He's still in 15th place. He's 9 seconds off Pete Newman in front of him, and Roger Morton's off. And now Roger Morton's back on. And that car between them, number 16, just there, is Philip Bjork, and he's actually a lap down on these guys. Pete Newman getting past Haflider Johansson. So many moves and so much shuffling going on up and down the order. I'll show you where everybody is initially. You can see that leaders are broken away. The red number 3 is where Ben Palmer is on the circuit, and he's got a bit of a train behind him and a gap back to these guys who are battling for 8th, 9th, and then Carl Jacquelet just behind in 10th. So breathe for a minute. Alex Davidson leads the way with 3.5 minutes left to go. Is he going to play this one cute though and let Matthew Crisp retake the lead before the final lap of the race? So then he can get the slipstream on him out of the last corner. I don't know. Not sure whether Crispy will let that happen or not. I've seen drivers try it before and back themselves up loads to make it easy for the guy behind to overtake, and the guy behind has just simply refused, and they've held themselves up too much, so the driver in front has to go. Look at the overspeed there from Crispy. It is colossal. He could probably... He's not going to beat him to the line. And look, he backs off. I was just going to say, if he could beat him to the line there and prove the point that he can come from that far back to overtake at the line, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? 2.5 minutes to go then, so we're going to get this lap and one more. They're doing 2:08s at the moment. Almost identical times for our lead duo. 2:08.45 for both of them. It's just going to be down to the nearest thousandths of a second. Here's Majek Sakovic. Now he's on the warpath here. He's got Kevin Zemstra in front of him, the Dutchman. But then the car ahead of that is Marcus Adams, who leads the AM class in this race right now. So Majek could still grab an AM class race win here. Typically, James Neve is car 7, P7 in class once again. He always seems to be in P7, as James Neve. Majek's just playing it safe here as Zemstra nearly turns into the side of Marcus Adams. Look how little steering lock you need to put on to get this car to go around. Such a well-behaved car, it really does handle. Look at that in front. So close between Adams and Zemstra. The two of them glued to each other. Majek's actually got Nikolai Biera just behind him as well, so he needs to think about this and be careful here in case he gets caught out by the slipstream. So we've got Zemstra on the right, Adams on the left. Majek wants the AM class lead, and he can get that via Kevin. He's giving him a push now. You can see Majek didn't want to push him when they were on the banking still and on the curve. He didn't want to make life difficult for him. Adams is still down the inside into the bus stop. Zemstra's still on the outside. Oh my goodness me, how have they made that work? How on earth? Now look at Nikolai Biera, car 21 there, the orange machine. He's part of this. Majek's been hung out to dry. Nikolai's going to push Kevin. Suddenly Kevin gets a massive overspeed. He then pushes Marcus. Oh, they need to be so careful here because Kevin will want to back out and Nikolai won't. Majek Sakovic is now going to get the slipstream off all of them. This is great racing. Love to see this. Plenty of thought going into this. They need to be so careful though. Ben Palmer is now in third place away from all of this and he'll be glad to be. Zemstra's car is dancing around on the bonnet of Nikolai Biera's machine. Marcus Adams doing everything he can possibly do to hold that position, but Zemstra around the outside. Ultimately with the slipstream gets through with ease, although I say that and on the exit Marcus is able to get him back here. Is there more in the tank? Is Nikolai Biera in too deep? Oh, it looked like it. He's actually saved it as well. He's done a really good job of saving it. And now Majek Sakovic wants to come through. Nikolai Biera takes the AM class lead. Let's not forget that he is also in the AM class. Great battle for this lead. And for 5th place overall in the race. Adams on the outside now. Has to think about defending the inside from Sakovic. Not able to just yet. As he's back down the inside of Biera already. Oh no, I think that attack might leave him under attack himself from Majek, although I think Biera took a bit of a compromised line there and went very, very deep on corner exit to make sure that he didn't lose the position. Great racing, and it's all meant that Zemstra can disappear up the road. Here's your lead battle then. We're on the final lap of the race. And it's Crispy sat behind Davidson on the way into the bus stop. Now Crispy needs a bit of a gap here to get a bigger overspeed on the back of Alex Davidson, but he doesn't want to leave the gap too big that he drops a bucket load of time and can't get close enough. So here we go. We know Davidson will try and move around a little bit to break that slipstream, but we know as well that Crispy can just choose which direction he wants to go past him. And oh, look at this, he's going up the banking to then get a slingshot down it naturally and get the overspeed. And they're going below the line. Crispy's going to go to the outside. Alex is going to come up slightly. He's going to squeeze him to the right-hand side, but I think he's going to do it. Matthew Crispy's going to take the win in round 29, is he? He's not. He's not going to. Davidson wins it. What? Wow. Alex Davidson takes the win. I'd love to see what the gap is. Davidson wins it from Crisp with Palmer in third. What's the AM battle like? Nikolai Biera wins that one from Adams and Sakovic. How did Davidson... I mean, he obviously squeezed Matt up there. And then... and then obviously he just came back down the circuit. So, my goodness me. So, in coming back down, obviously shortened the line. And just got the job done. That's amazing. Biera takes a fantastic win in the AM class from Adams and then Sakovic. You've got to love that. But wow, let's have a look at this again. And then we'll do the reverse grid. Promise, Andy. Wow. Oh. So Crispy gets one hell of a run. Goes up to the high line. And obviously Alex is well within his right to not bump him up there, but push him. But then look, Alex comes down below the line. Suddenly gains a load more speed. And gets the job done. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic racing. We still have a couple of cars to finish the race, actually. Rob Padgham is on his way to cross the line. And then we'll have to look at the reverse grid spinny wheel and see what the situation is there, see what the reverse grid is going to be. But Matty Wilde actually got back out in this race, and so too did both of the 52 racing cars, so hats off to them for pushing on and continuing, staying determined enough to finish the race. Philip Bjork has crossed the line a lap down in car 16, and there is Ian Manners across the line. He'll be the final car to complete the race. Pete Newman did go to the pits earlier after his drama, so Pete Newman did actually complete 9 laps, so no, he did finish the race a lap down. He shows us in the pits at the moment. So then, let's have a look at your race results, shall we? Actually, no, apologies. Let's quickly go to the spinny wheel. We need to spin said wheel and let the admins of the championship know what the reverse grid is going to be. And Alex Davidson, I can tell you, has said, sorry, Matthew Crisp, had to be done. The reverse grid this time is 15 cars. So what that's going to mean for us is that Martin Kenyon is going to start on pole position. Martin got a bit done over in that race, admittedly, by Colin Sansom on 2 occasions. So Martin's going to start on pole. But Alex Davidson takes the win, 17 thousandths of a second over Matthew Crisp, with Ben Palmer in 3rd, Kevin Zemstra in 4th, ahead of Nikolai Biera, who takes the win in the AM class, only a couple of thousandths ahead of Marcus Adams. Maciej Sakovic is next up, ahead of Andy Scheel and Michael Hafliderson. Carl Jackalette rounds out your top 10. Ben Gregory was 11th, ahead of Haflider Johansson. James Neve finishes in 13th in the end, and in that point he was 7th in class. Roger Morton finishes 14th ahead of Martin Kenyon, our pole sitter for the final race of the season, in 15th. Then it's Colin Sansom, Rob Padgham and Matty Wilde, and behind them we have Ian Manners and then Pete Newman and Philip York, classed as a lap down. So one more race to go then tonight, everybody, and one more ad break for me on Chaz Draycott Media. If you bear with me a couple of minutes, everyone, we'll be right back with you, and we will bring you the final race, round 30 of the season. We'll see you in a sec.
4 French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. The 3 wide again, Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across, they're both in front of Milan and Pouget. But before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see truck racing and they think, this is crazy, you know, these are 5-ton machines, 1200 horsepower brake. Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, he's been mugged and a drift is going off. Ben Gregory now, I love this. 10.5 minutes gone. Senna Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
I hope you're all enjoying the broadcast so far. We've only got one more race this season. Can you believe it? It's the 30th and final round of the World Sim Racing World GR86 Series, sponsored by ButtKicker, coming to you on Chaz Draycott Media in just a few minutes. Please do bear with me. Hello again, everybody. Chaz Draycott here on Chaz Draycott Media, of course, for the final race of the season in the World Sim Racing World GR86 Series. Hope you're all having a wonderful night so far. Hope you're enjoying the action, and I hope you've enjoyed the action all season. Honestly, it's been great fun broadcasting this championship. I've just told the drivers if they could all calm down and try and stop killing each other, then we might be able to keep up here on the broadcast. But we have basically got a lot of drivers now saying, the championship top three is all decided. Let's have it. They're literally the words of Matthew Crisp over in the Discord now. Maciej Stakovic is saying, mate, the important championship is still all to play for. And he is absolutely right. He said, good luck, James Neve. This will be absolute chaos. And just looking at the championship standings as I refresh it on my screen, I'll see what the difference is between Maciej and James. I don't think there's much in it, to be fair, between the two of them. I think Maciej may just be ahead here, though, maybe by 3 or 5 points. That's just my guess anyway. It's just loading now, sorry, it's taking its time. And I can tell you that Maciej Stakovic is 7 points clear of James Neve. I'm pretty sure that it's basically each position between, one point per position difference between the two. So we'll have to wait and see. Ben Palmer has handily changed his livery for the final race of the season. Cheers, Ben. He's got a different car this time round. We didn't see much of Ben in that last race, but he did finish in 3rd place. So he's got a 100% podium record. Here is James Neve, the man that is hoping to take the AM Championship. He's going to be starting a lot further ahead of Maciej Sakovic this time. He just needs to survive. It's ironic, really, that all season I've seen James in P7 and it's been car number 7, P7 all year, and now it's 7 points that separate the two of them. So it's become his unlucky number in a way. This is the man that he's going to be chasing for that championship, Maciej Sakovic. Maciej is so good at just making his way through the pack. He's so good at it. And I know that he's going to be working hard to just keep this tidy, avoid incidents, and get the most out of the car. He's just throwing it in for a bit of a laugh here, I think, and just seeing where the limits are. And he's kissed the barrier slightly, as I think he's just trying to show off. Haflidy Johansson had a bit of a moment in that race, to say the least, so he's going to be hoping for a much cleaner run this time. And Kevin Zemstra is actually running the number 1 car here for this final race of the season by the look of it. The sim has decided to give him that number on his car for this last encounter. So Kevin has got a lot of pressure on his shoulders right now. Colin Sansom in, oh, hello, car 67, having a bit more of a drama. He's had a very drama-filled season, has Colin, hasn't he? We often see him in incident, and hopefully for him he has a nice clean final race and no other dramas involving any other drivers. But it's lovely, lovely lighting conditions here at Daytona. It's night time for the final race of the season. And let's have a look at the grid for the last time in the series, as we need to just reload that grid, sorry, because that's not the right one. The graphic took its time. So Martin Kenyon on pole position alongside Roger Morton. Then it's James Neve and Haflidy Johansson. Ben Gregory and Carl Jacquelet on row 3. Michael Hafliderson and Andy Scheel on row 4. Then it's Maciej Sakovic starting 9th ahead of Marcus Adams in 10th. Nikolai Biera is next up in 11th. He's alongside Kevin Zemstra, with his teammate actually aiming for Hafley Racing in 12th. Behind them we have Ben Palmer in 13th ahead of Matthew Crisp, and race 2 winner Alex Davidson. A great scrap between those two, hopefully more of the same. Colin Sansom will start 16th ahead of Rob Padgham and Matty Wilde. Then it's Ian Manners, Pete Newman and Philip Bjork who rounds out the last spot on the grid. So the Porsche pace car, which is very responsibly not got its headlights on, leads the field away. Martin Kenyon has a big old gaggle of machines waiting behind him in this final 20-minute race of the season. And let me know in the chat. I know there's a bunch of you still there. Let us know who your money is on for this last race of the season. Who are you supporting? Who do you want to see win? Who do you think will win? There's a big difference. Let me know in the chat, everybody, whether you be on Twitch, Facebook, or on YouTube. I can see we've got viewers on each platform at the minute, so hello to all of you. Thank you for watching Chaz Draycott Media tonight and the World Sim Racing World GR86 series sponsored by Bookkicker. So Martin Kenyon, Roger Morton, front row. James Neve and Haflidy Johansson on row 2. James in that black and orange car there, hoping to take the AM title tonight, but he needs to outscore Maciej by 7 points. It's not easy to get that right at all. It's going to need a big amount of positions between himself and Maciej. There's no guarantee that that's going to happen. So here we go then, for the final time this season in the World GR86 series, sponsored by Bookkicker. We're underway. Martin Kenyon gets a great start. Ben Gregory goes instantly to the middle, makes it 3 wide with James Neve and Haflidy Johansson. That's not going to give James Neve much confidence there. Ben has to get on the brakes, and down the inside of him goes Michael Hafliderson. Roger Morton doesn't want Ben to go through like that, and there's a big bit of contact, and well, Roger Morton has gone straight on. Roger put himself in a situation there, I think, and unfortunately he has paid the price. There's a bit of 3 wide action going on in the middle of the field here. As all of a sudden, you can see Alex Davidson having a bit of a wiggle there. He's gained 5 spots so far. He's around the outside now of Haflidy Johansson, who's around. Oh no, that was Martin Kenyon. Martin Kenyon was backwards. Oh, there's a lot of cars off and a lot of cars involved. Martin Kenyon was completely backwards though, and James Neve leads the race. He wants to win the AM Championship. You can bet your bottom dollar he does. He definitely wants to win this AM Championship. Flipping heck, he is determined to take this. James Neve all over it. We need to go back and have a look at what happened to Martin Kenyon in just a moment. Colin Sansom has had another drama, although I was hoping that he wouldn't in this last race. So Martin Kenyon leading it then from James Neve. Does he get a tap, or no, he's lost it on his own, look. He's already going, and oh, he does get a bit of help though from Michael Hafliderson. Does he get hit? I think he does. Oh, There goes Johansson. Oh, it's Colin Sansom that hits him and then goes left with Marcus Adams in a big, big way. Let's go on board and watch it from Marcus's point of view. Oh, he's already in the wall at this point. So this is Marcus Adams. Oh, he's got Kevin Zemstra on his left there. I think he's 3 wide with somebody. I think it's Colin. And oh, out of nowhere. Colin bounces off the side of Martin Kenyon's car. Michael Haflidason leads... What? Maciej Sakovic has gained 8 positions and leads the race. What? What? Maciej leads the race. He started 9th on the grid and he needed James Neve to have a torrid time. James Neve's having a decent time in 3rd, but Maciej leads the race. Doesn't get much better than that. Ben Gregory making it 3 wide on the outside of Ben Palmer there. Andy Shield up there as well. Ben's going to get on the brakes in the middle of it. Ben brakes later than everybody, actually. Tries to make it work through there, does he? Is anyone around? No. Somehow. We'll go back on board Ben Gregory and just see if we can pick apart whatever the hell's going to happen here. Whoa, Shield and I think Biera very close to contact there. It's the number 4 car. It is Nikolai Biera. As Zemstra turns across Ben Gregory. There's no other word for it there, Kevin. Sorry, mate. Can't defend you that time. Ben had his nose on the apex of the corner. And somehow it's all gone single file in front. Then tries to turn in through the kink. He's got Philip Bjork behind him still as well, so there's battles all the way up and down this. Maciej still leads the race. Ben saw a gap down the inside there, didn't go for it. So Haflidason and Sakovic side by side for the lead. Palmer and Crisp have gained 10 places each. As Ben's just had a bit of a blink in and out there and disappeared. He reappears though inside the middle of the pack. It's Maciej Sakovic with a bunch of pro drivers around him. Look at that, Alex Davidson down the inside of James Neve. Sorry, it's Ben Palmer, isn't it? Ben blinked in and out again a moment ago and it affected what was showing up on the timing screen. But James Neve is actually behind Nikolai Biera now. He's got Kevin Zemstra on his inside. Need to look at the front though, see what happens for this lead battle. It's so hard to judge the angles through here from this camera. But it's Michael Haflidason leading Sakovic, Crisp, Palmer, Davidson, Shield, Biera and Zemstra, and then James Neve as well, the top 9 all together. And then there's not even a big gap back to Ben Gregory, Philip Bjork, Matty Wild as well. Philip Bjork's gained 10 places. He's having a great start here in the AM class. He's 5th overall, sorry, 5th in that class. Pete Newman has had a drama, I think. Either that or he didn't start the race. No, Pete Newman has had a drama with Philip Bjork involved. I think this was going on while we were looking at the replay. Oh, it's gone on the downshift. Oh, that's a disgusting impact for Pete Newman. Oh, and he's been clipped by Carl Jacquelet. I think Carl got away with it. Oh no, there's been drama, and Sakovic, Maciej Sakovic is around. He's off at turn 1, unbelievable. Michael Haflidason is off the road as well, he's got damage. Oh, typically we look away and look at a replay. There was another car involved there, that's Ben Palmer on the outside. Let's pick this apart. So, Sakovic loses it, hits Haflidason. What happened to Ben Palmer? Ben hits someone or something, and the car is very, very broken. Let's have a look at this again. So Ben Palmer's the black and red car on the outside, so Sakovic loses it all on his own. Hits Haflidason. Then Ben's going to... Oh, that's a sickening impact into Haflidason. I was going to say, because Michael somehow got from the outside of the circuit way back to the inside, and that car is more than broken. So James Neve is now ahead of Maciej Sakovic, but it's only 5 places. And I think he needs more than that to beat Sakovic in the championship. This is unbelievable. One way, then the other, very literally between these guys. Alex Davidson somehow leads this race again. Is he going to win all 3 races on the final night? It would be very fitting if he did, because I think he's done it before in this championship. I think he won all 3 at Manicourt, did he not? Or was it at... No, he didn't win all 3 at Montreal, did he? His father and son here, actually, Michael Haflidason and his dad, Haflida Johansson, in similar-ish liveries as they make their way down towards the bus stop, but Michael's got big damage on that car. He can't go anywhere. Nikolai Biera leading the AM class at this moment in time. Doing a great job of it as well. He's got Kevin Zemstra behind him. Kevin has escaped death more than once in this race, has to be said. And he's now able to slipstream up to the cars in front and make waves and make progress. There's battles going on behind him, which involve James Neve and Ben Gregory. Neve gains another spot as Gregory goes deep. Matty Wild is in that as well, actually, in the yellow DCW racing car. He's gained 10 spots from where he started in this race. Philip Bjork in front of him has gained 14. He's the tied biggest mover in the field so far in this race. Alex Davidson has also gained 14 spots, but he can't go any higher than that in this race, can he? Let's face that. 7 minutes gone already. These races are flying by tonight, but we've got more cars out there and more action, which is great to see. It's wonderful to have the championship boosted up in terms of its numbers for the final round, thanks to those that have jumped in for this last race meeting of the season. I'm afraid that Colin Sansom, Rob Padgham and Carl Jacquelet have had some sort of drama here. So this is Sansom. Whoa, that's a big old moment. I'm not sure if these are related incidents, actually, because Padgham is... oh dear. And is Carl going to get collected by this? I'm not sure. No, I don't think he is. Oh, Carl then has his own moment at the bus stop. And another big hit into that tyre barrier. That tyre barrier has welcomed a lot of cars this evening, hasn't it? But here we go then. Matty Wild trying to find a way past Philip Bjork. There was just about a gap there, but I wouldn't have gone for that myself, to be fair, Matt. I agree with you on that one. They've got Ben Gregory closing in behind them. Andy Shiel is now up into second place, ahead of Matthew Crisp. And then Nikolai Biera just behind them is... oh no, Philip Bjork. Bjork's off. We suddenly look away. Bjork is off and Matty Wild is in front. That's the sort of curse that I've got here. I don't really have a commentator's curse. It's more we look away from a car and then it has an accident. There's, oh my, oh, and there is contact with Matty Wild. Danny Solo saying, why is Hafley choking so hard? Well, my friend, he was involved in an incident. And a big one for the lead as well. Look at this, Matthew Crisp down the inside of Andy Shiel as Davidson continues to lead this race. Goodness me. Now Andy is based in the United States as well, so the ping difference between these two is less than desirable. Alex lives in Scotland. I don't think they've got the internet up there yet. I'm joking. Got a lot of Scottish friends that I love to bits. I don't hear from them though because they've not got any internet. We've got Kevin Zemstra in 5th place though, holding on to the back of this little group, and he's actually got a second and a bit over James Neve. Look at Alex Davidson trying to bait the others into a move. He's running really late into the apex there. I know, Danny. Hafley involved in an incident? No way. I know. Zemstra racing for, aiming for Hafley Racing as well, let's not forget. Doesn't need to do any aiming tonight, just needs to aim for the front of the field. Kevin is racing in the Chaz Draycott Media Formula 1 World Championship by F1Countdown.com. And he's racing again for Ferrari this season, which he absolutely hates. Martin Kenyon is also a Formula 1 driver. He's racing for Prost so far this season. His teammates will be Michael Jones for the first couple of rounds while we wait for John Tusting to return back from injury. A bit kissing of the wall going on here at the front of the field. Alex Davidson, I think, just kissing the barrier, making sure that he's got that side draft. He's very close to overdoing it over those curbs. And I think Andy Shields just overdone it on the exit. Look at that. Look at the speed Andy's got. Alex moves up and says, after you, mate. Now let's go on board with Zemstra. Let's see what the overspeed's like here. I think Kevin's backed out slightly, you know. It's not like Kevin to back out, but... there's been some sort of drama, I'm afraid, again for Colin Sansom and Rob Padgham. I'm not sure if, again, they're related, but they've had another drama at the same time as each other. They're a long way apart on the track. Oh. Colin's hit the brakes and the car's gone right. And then Rob Padgham's had another drama. I think it's going to be down into this left-hander. On the downshift, is it just going to go around? He's just gone a little bit too hot, and yep, that's all it takes. And around she goes. So at the front, Shiel versus Davidson. Davidson's got a great run out of the International Horseshoe. Andy's been left for dead through there. Matthew Crisp in third place has got a good view of all this. Nicolai Vieira needs to be careful if he wants to hold on to this win in the AM class. But to be fair, Nicolai already won a race in the AM class tonight. He'll definitely want to do it again. Big championship points off of him. James Neve is in second, speaking of championship points. Then it's Ben Gregory, but then Maciej Sakovic in fourth position in class. So right now, with where he is placed, Maciej Sakovic would win the championship. We've had another drama for Colin Sansom. So it looked like he got back going again after that. It doesn't even say he went into the pits, but the car was stopped. And it's just bounced over the curb and around it goes once again. So Davidson leads it. Looking back, there is Shiel and Crisp. Matthew Crisp has got himself into that gap, nearly kissing the barrier. Is Andy going to go for it? No, of course. He's letting his teammate go. Best option for it. And then we're going to play the games on the exit here as we all get into line once again. Nicolai Vieira pushing Kevin Zemstra. I think Kevin's got some sort of damage, you know, from earlier on. It's really affecting the car in a straight line. He needs Nicolai to push him. And push him he is. Alan Luth saying, I'm glad I ain't Padgeham's microphone. Look at the push. Look at the push from Nicolai Vieira. Using Kevin Zemstra like a missile to aim at the other cars in front. Hopefully doesn't use him like a cue ball into here as well. So I think there might have been a little... No, it looked like there might have been contact with Shiel and Davidson there, but Alex making sure that he gave just enough room to Andy down the inside. And now Andy's embroiled in another fight with Matthew Crisp, who goes around the outside into the International Horseshoe. Has Andy overdone that? No, somehow gets it stopped. Oh, Crispy's a little bit wiggly on the exit as well, actually. And they will continue. James Neve just off the back of this. There's a battle going on in the middle of the field. Ian Manners and Roger Morton having a good old scrap. Now Roger's lost 9 places from where he started, and Ian has gained 9 places from where he started. There's also Michael Laflidison and Ben Palmer having a bit of fun further down the order, but not too much in the way of position changing going on there. Ben teases him and dives out at the last second. Ben's really throwing everything at this. Look at that, tries to turn in as hard as possible and the car breaks away a little bit. This is Davidson leading the race though. He's been absolutely supreme this season, Alex Davidson. The very first race this season, he was leading it by a mile and then had a disconnect. And it was horrible because he was on to make such a point of leading the first race and decimating everybody else. And then it was down to his teammates, Morgan Butler and Pete Newman, to have a scrap. And they took each other out in the last corner. And it was Naveed Hussain that came through and won the race. We've not seen Naveed since then, unfortunately. We really hope to have him back. But Nicolai Vieira is going to be hoping to stick with this lot because he's having a great view of it at the moment. He's got a really good sight ahead of him of these cars all battling away. Up through the gears, 210 kilometres an hour, which doesn't seem like a lot considering that's only 120 miles an hour. You would have thought these cars would be capable of 140, 150 because they don't weigh anything. They've not got a lot of power, but still, you would have thought that sort of pace was available. Down the inside goes Crispy on Andy Shiel. Andy and Alex again swapping around a couple of places. We've got 5 minutes to go, or 4 and 35. 4 minutes 35. Still the battles are erupting here at the very front in the last round of the season, round 30 of the World Sim Racing World GR86 Series. There's contact between Shiel and Crispy. Shiel just ran a little bit wide and Crispy just taps the rear corner. And Andy moves over decisively in front of Kevin Zemstra, who's on the outside of Crispy now. Nicolai Vieira as well, his teammate of course, aiming for Hafley Racing. They don't have to aim for Hafley because he's way down the order in 15th place. Great battle this though, isn't it? Absolutely awesome battle. You can see a lot of them there. From our gorgeous chopper cam, Nicolai Vieira down the inside of Kevin Zemstra. He's now going to get the overspeed. We'll go to this camera actually. Just move back a little bit to Kevin Zemstra and see what the slipstream is like from this range, because to me, Andy Shiel and Alex Davidson are breaking away there and getting further ahead. This is where it's going to come into effect now. These guys can push Matthew Crisp in the green and brown camouflaged Alcantec car. And look at this, the double push. Whoa, dearie me. Nikolai Biera says, no thank you, I don't want a piece of that. I don't want to be in the middle. Zemstra's gone deep. Zemstra's going to have to back out of that. And oh no, look at the time they've lost already. Matthew Crisp has gained 1.2 seconds from that. Crispy's gone. He's now 7/10 behind Andy Shield, who is only a quarter of a second behind Alex Davidson. We've got 3 minutes left here at Daytona, so this lap that we're just about to begin, and then one more after that, because it's about 2 minutes 7, 2 minutes 8 per lap around here. The lead pair side by side, and I can tell you the gap is coming down, so Crispy is gaining more and more on the slipstream each time. 219, 220 kilometers an hour. Really not a lot at all, to be honest. I thought it would have been a lot more in these cars, but Shield takes the lead, and before you know it, because Crispy doesn't have to compensate for anyone else, he is there, right there, in third place behind these guys. Ian Manners and Roger Morton still having a scrap as well. He's going on for 10th and 11th place. They're 6th and 7th in the AM class as well. And Roger Morton around the outside, but has he gone in a little bit too deep? I think he has. Has he gone around? He is, yes. Luckily, there is actually a bit of contact there, and it's lucky there was contact, because I think that's what sort of saved him that moment in time. Shield down the inside of Davidson once again. Crispy down the inside of Davidson as well. But then Davidson gets an awesome cutback. His racecraft is so good, as Alex Davidson. He really knows what he's doing. Hard onto the brakes they go, through the left. Nearly contact between the two, but they get away with it. These two have raced each other a lot this season, so they know what the score is. They've had a very healthy, competitive season. And look at it, they can get away with stuff like that because they just know each other by now, and it's lovely to watch. It's great racing. And this is the thing, when you get a decent community behind your championship and a decent group of guys that love racing each other and love racing fairly, and they know what's best for the championship and best for each other, you will get this sort of racing. It'll be a laugh for them, you know. They'll be really enjoying themselves out there. Crispy looks down the inside of Andy Shield, doesn't go for it in the end. He's still just about got a little overlap on the way into the braking zone there on Alex Davidson. We've got a minute left on the timer, which means we're going to get one more lap here at Daytona in this entire championship, as Andy Shield, I think, has got a slowdown penalty, has he? He's still staying out of the way. I think Shield overdid it there, and he's got himself a slowdown penalty and has lost the chance at maybe a race victory. But in the final race of the season, in the World Sim Racing World GR86 Series, sponsored by Buttkicker, we have one more go. Philip Bjork is way off the road. Hello, sunshine. Oh, that's going to bend the rim, isn't it? Andy Shield still slowing down. Still losing places, although he sends one back up the inside of Nikolai Biera. He came from about Ohio to go down the inside of him there. Flipping heck. Davidson leads this race then. He's already been crowned champion a couple of race meetings ago as well. And Alex Davidson has been supreme so far this season. He really has. He's been amazing all throughout. There's not been a single thing really that he's done wrong. He took Morgan Butler out at Sandown, but at the end of the day he was offered a Domino's for it. I think any of us would have done the same. Nikolai Biera's having a great race, isn't he? He's having a great night, to be honest. He won the second race in the AM class. He wants to win the third. He's got James Neve right behind him, though. James also wants points, and he needs points. He's only 2 places ahead of Sakovic, though, and that would be enough to give Maciej Sakovic the AM Championship title. We've not seen much of Maciej throughout this race. Now I'm going to remind him and remind everyone else again that the first league I ever won, No, I've never won a league. I'm rubbish. There's a reason I'm a commentator. First league I ever ran was the BSR Kia Club Series. We were using it as a feeder series to the BSR TC Pro Series, and Maciej Sakovic was the champion, and the championship was literally decided at the line. And look at this, neither of them want to go to the front. Kevin Zemstra's thinking, right, go on then, I'll do it. Neither of them want to be at the front because of the slipstream. Suddenly Andy Shield's back in this. I was just going to say it's going to be great to see Maciej win a title again if he gets it done. Look, no one wants to be at the front here, but Crispy ends up at the front of this, and Andy Shield could win this race. He's going to have a colossal overspeed now on these guys. Let's see what happens. He doesn't bother going higher up there. He knows how much that slows him down, and look, Shield's got the run. I don't think he's going to have enough, though. I think Alex Davidson's going to do it. He goes one way, then the other. Oh, surely there's going to be contact. You can't go that far down, boys. Come on. Come on, boys. You can't do that. Davidson takes the win in the final round of the season. And it's over. Davidson, Crisp and Zemstra. Nikolai Biera next up. James Neve. But then the man that is going to take the AM Class Championship. Very, very well done to Maciej Sakovic. The Polish driver for Team MAD gets the job done. Awesome, awesome racing at the front of the field there. Great entertainment, great fun. And hats off to James Neve. He gave it everything there. And hats off to Nikolai Biera. He got a great, great victory in the AM class. James Neve did everything he could to recover his evening. But Sakovic's first lap, he may have had the dramas, but wow, he did an awesome job. But there is your champion, everybody. Alex Davidson, overall champion, winning the World Sim Racing World GR86 Series in fantastic style. There is Biera just nipping into the shot. It just looks like Manners and Morton overtook Bjork on the final lap. I think they just slipstreamed past him, to be fair. He lost a couple of places at the line. Let's have another look at this, though, because none of them wanted to be at the front for this. I don't agree with going below the yellow line. Crispy put him down there. And Alex just said, no, we need to be up there, mate. Great entertainment. Absolutely great entertainment. See if we can see what happened to Philip Bjork. So this is coming onto the banking for the final time. And yeah, he's going to get mugged here, isn't he? By Ian Manners and Roger Morton. Nothing you can do about the overspeed there. It is monumental. It's a horrible situation to be in, but that's part of racing. Roger Morton around the outside nearly gets the pair of them as well. Very close across the line. But what fantastic, fantastic entertainment, eh? What a great series. Alex Davidson wins by 28 thousandths of a second, and for the second time this season wins all 3 races on the night. What a boy. Matthew Crisp takes second place. Very well done to him. Kevin Zemstra gets a podium. Lovely job by Kevin. And then Andy Shield finishes in 4th. Nikolai Biera takes the win in the AM class, is second on the bounce as well. Very well done. James Neve finishes second and only just misses out on the AM class championship. Ben Gregory gets a podium in class as well. And then Maciej Sakovic finishes in 4th, and that is enough to get him the AM class title. Do you mind, Matthew? That makes a horrible sound. Behind Maciej was Ian Manners and Roger Morton, then Philip Bjork, as we just saw. Havlida Johansson ahead of Marcus Adams, then Rob Padgham. Michael Laflidison and Ben Palmer 15th and 16th. Matty Wilde 17th. Martin Kenyon finishing in 18th place. Then we had Colin Sansom, the last car in the lead lap. Carl Jacquelet and Pete Newman did not finish the race. Well, plenty to talk about, plenty to think about after that race meeting. There was a certain amount of buzz around that one. And we do have a bunch of drivers that are ready to have a chat. And I just need to make sure that I've got the right headset chosen for this, because sometimes when I jump into these things, I've not got the right headset on to speak to these guys. But we have it selected tonight. What I want to do first is have a chat with our newly crowned champion. Or, well, I say newly crowned. He's been the champion a week, so shut up. Alex Davidson, you must be over the moon, mate, because, again, you got those 3 wins in one night, mate, and, well, we thought you were going to do it, but to finally do it and get it done here as well, where it's difficult to lose, well, it's easy to lose a win, it's certainly a great, great way to round out your championship, isn't it?
Hello, mate. Yeah, couldn't have finished much better than that, if I'm honest, and I really didn't think I would finish the championship like that. As you said, with it being Daytona and the draft being so strong, literally anybody can win, and luckily I just pulled some tricks out my sleeve, unfortunately, for Mr. Crispy on the last 2 laps of those 2 races, and big shout out to Ben for helping me out in race 1, or I probably wouldn't have won that either, so a bit of help here and there, but yeah, couldn't have went much better than that.
Well, that's it. It certainly looked like a fun night as well because of that draft. I mean, there was a bit of a moment there at the end of the race where nobody really wanted to, no one wanted to take the lead out of the bus stop. And to be fair, did you think it was going to get to that point, or did you think that everyone would just sort of carry on and not worry about it too much?
Nah, you can definitely see how it's going to pan out, and I think me and Crispy know that we're both going to race each other really hard and pull tricks like that out the hat. I actually done it a little bit in race 2, just a lot later, so you didn't notice it as much. But yeah, I kind of figured it was going to be like that, and I fully got off the throttle and said no chance, and basically made him have to go, or P3 would have just went flying by us. But
well, it was great entertainment, Alex, and a fantastic season for you. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to for the final time this season?
Thanks very much. Shout out to yourself, Chaz, for doing the stream, and shout out to my grandpapa, my dad, for always watching the streams and following me, even if it is something as silly as driving a fake race car.
Well, I hope they've enjoyed the broadcast as well, and thank you very much, mate. Alex, very well done on the title, mate. You've been supreme all season, and a great way to end it out. Well done.
Thanks very much, mate. Cheers.
Lovely job then, Alex Davidson, your champion outright. And we then move from one champion to the next. We're now going to speak to our newly crowned AM champion, finishing 4th in class in that race after a bit of a topsy-turvy night. Maciej Sakovic. Maciej, it's been a while, to be fair, mate, but another title under your belt. You must be over the moon, because that certainly went all manners of pear-shaped tonight.
Yeah, that's the polite way of putting it.
Yeah, the broadcastable way of saying it.
Yeah, honestly, I think this has been the craziest finale I've ever been in, and the craziest series, and the closest fought series I've been in for a long, long time. So, massive shout out to James, because he has been really good the whole season and really clean to race with. So, yeah, thanks for a great fight.
And were you expecting it to be so topsy-turvy tonight, or did you think that it was just going to be a bit straightforward for either of you and you'd both stay out of trouble and just sort of keep it to yourselves?
I knew they would be tough, but I did not expect to basically have a shunt in every single race.
Yeah. It certainly.
And yeah, they were good shunts as well.
Well, I was going to ask actually about the severity of said shunts, because the thing is, you know, sometimes you and I have both watched way too many British Touring Car Championship finales, I'm sure, where there's a little off here and there, a little topple of some championship points, but you've got to do it properly, haven't you, if you're going to lose them?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what was your highlight of the season then, Maciej? Because there's been a lot of fantastic race meetings, hasn't there, and a great calendar to go with it in these cars.
Oh man, probably trying to keep up with Pete at Alton Park. That's always a really good circuit for just driving around, and trying to keep up with the Pearson's guys was a real highlight. But tonight's a close second with non-stop action.
Well, it was a great way to round it out, mate, and a really good fight as well between you and James. It's been a really entertaining battle all season. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before you go?
Shout out to James again, because it was a fantastic fight all season, and to yourself for keeping us broadcasting for the whole season.
It's my pleasure. It's been a hell of a lot of fun, Maciej. Thank you very much, mate, and well done on the championship, buddy. Hopefully I'll be around to see you get some more in the near future.
Be around. How long do you think it's going to take me to get the next one?
I don't know. We'll see. But thank you very much, mate. Maciej Sakovic, everybody, your AM champion. Let's move on to... let's speak to the guy that got done over the most tonight. Matthew Crisp. You had so many amazing battles with Alex Davidson across the line there. You must have been laughing your heads off across the line, or screaming. What was the outcome?
I was happy with the results, to be honest. But yeah, with Alex, you got to try and do something crazy to beat him, and I gave it a go. I mean, I can't get much closer than I did, but yeah, it was another awesome night of racing.
Certainly looked it. And did you think the slipstream was going to be as strong as it was coming into this? How much sort of knowledge of it did you have coming into the race meeting?
Well, we knew from all season it was going to be strong here. Perhaps it was even stronger than we expected. I mean, qualifying was a real struggle because everyone wanted the draft, but
yeah,
nobody wanted to lead. And it was so strong by the end of the lap, you were catching people that were ahead of you. So, but I was lucky enough to get in a decent lap, and yeah, I think we were at P4 and 2 P2s. I mean, I can't complain about that at all.
No, not a bad night at the office at all, and like I say, nearly 100% podium record this evening. What's your outlook? It's outlook. It's finished now. But what's your sort of look back at your championship like? How do you feel it's gone? Because it's been a bit topsy turvy for everyone at certain points, hasn't it?
Yeah, Joe, I came into this thinking if I absolutely get everything perfectly, I can get a top 3 overall in the championship. Okay, a few of the people that could have challenged me for that dropped out early on, but. Okay, and then I made a few mistakes in the mid part of the season that maybe if I was perhaps I shouldn't have done if I was concentrating a little bit more. But I mean, I'm over the moon. Me and Michael together, we won the team's championship. We both got 2 trophies coming home. And that's more than I expected coming into this.
I was going to say, I was just going to check the points in the team's championship, and I imagined with just the one Pure Sims car you would have clinched it, so very well done indeed. Is there anyone you'd like to give a quick shout out to, Matt? Because unfortunately we need to move on quite quickly, and I know Andy Shields going to take 45 minutes to get interviewed.
Well, there's too many people, so everyone at Alcantech who've been watching every stream, and the others who came and joined us tonight. So yeah, thanks to them.
Lovely stuff. I'll move very quickly on to Michael Hafladison. Michael, not the ideal last race, but you had a good scrap with Ben Palmer all the way through that one. Talk us through it, buddy.
I mean, I got unlucky in race 2 and 3. Can't really say much about it. I was unlucky, but had a fun race with Ben in the end. I don't know if they ran out of fuel or what happened, but it was fun and well, it lasted.
And what was it like just driving this car around Daytona? It's very underpowered. I mean, they were barely doing 120 miles an hour in their own sort of under their own power across the line. Did you expect that it would be that sort of slow, this car? Because I would have thought it would be a lot quicker.
I was genuinely scrolling Facebook after I wrecked on the straights.
I did wonder if anyone was going to be sort of taking up any hobbies off track while or on track still because of the just age that it took to get around the banking. But on the infield, it was good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was super fun. I mean, the whole season has been fun. I mean, can't complain really.
And are there any highlights from your side that you really enjoyed this season? Anything that really stands out?
Well, yes and no. Mostly just the fun battles I've had, but like Crispy said, mostly winning the team championship and getting a P2 in the drivers, which I did not think. So it's really, really nice to have 2 trophies coming home, like Crispy said.
Well, very well done, boys. It's awesome to see. And is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, Michael?
Way too many people, but AMRT and all the guys over at Alcantech, and of course my dad and everyone who's been watching, and you and Andy, of course, for putting this show up.
Well, it's been great fun, Michael. Thank you very much, mate, and enjoy the trophies.
Thank you so much.
And finally, we move on to Mr. Shield. You've not had a bad night, have you, mate? It's been quite a good one for a series admin's perspective. What a great night.
Yeah, it was good fun. Tongue was hanging out for the majority of those 3 races. Bit of rust showing with a couple of silly mistakes, but it was good to give Mr. Davidson a few heart attacks throughout that last race where I bumped him a couple of times and he got a bit squiffy. But no, it was good. It was good fun. It was a good race, good few races to finish the season on, and I think everyone enjoyed this evening and just some of the craziness. I can only imagine what turn 1, race 3, lap 1 looked like. You know,
God, yeah.
Or lap 2 was it, when we're 3 wide NASCAR style coming onto the banking. So yeah, it should be good to watch back.
Yeah, it was definitely a good laugh, mate. And to be fair, I mean, these cars race so well on all the other circuits that we've been to over the course of the season. Do you think that did you think that the slipstream was going to have that much of an effect tonight to keep everybody together? Because from my end, it just looked like it doubled the fun.
Yeah, I think it helps to keep the pack closer together for longer. Just the nature of the slower speed cars, you know, you can make a couple of mistakes and you can pull that time back. You know, once you're running down the straights through the bus stop and onto the start finish, you know, you can drop maybe half a second, make a little mistake, and you're right back on the car in front by the time you're getting up to T1. So, you know, it's very difficult to break away, especially if you're at the front. Even if you are the quickest out there, you just cannot get away. It's just impossible.
Well, I was going to say, from a broadcasting perspective and from a viewer's perspective, it makes the racing absolutely epic. Talking series admin for a moment, are there any real highlights from your side this season, or anything that stood out that you weren't expecting?
I think just the community aspect. I think everyone who's joined and got involved in this inaugural series has kind of taken it in the spirit that it was created, to have some fun, you know, try something a bit different. It's a slightly different class to what we've raced before, so, you know, the fact that a number of guys have seen it through, obviously a bit disappointed we had a bit of a drop off, but, you know, it's sometimes the case with new cars and different priorities and life and whatnot. So but other than that, you know, as I said, great way to finish the season with some great races and some great action this evening.
Absolutely was, mate. Is there anyone you'd like to give a thanks to before we go and wrap it all up?
Obviously, big thanks to yourself for putting on the broadcast and bringing the the drama to the screen, the drivers for turning up and making the series, and that's about it really. It's just just a really enjoyable, fun series. This was, so it's a little bit different to some of the other ones that we run.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant, Andy, and it was an absolute pleasure to broadcast it for you guys. Thank you very much for bringing the series here, but thanks for your time, buddy, and hopefully we'll see our paths cross again very, very soon.
Catch you later, buddy.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, there we go then, everybody. The series is over. The amazing World Sim Racing World GR86 series. Alex Davidson is your champion. Maciej Sakovich's AM champion, and AM Racing Team take the team's championship with Matthew Crisp and Michael Hafliderson. It's been a hell of a lot of fun broadcasting this championship. It really has. There's been action all the way throughout. Fantastic people, fantastic community, awesome racetracks, and I'm sure you'll all agree, awesome racing to go with it. But that's all from me tonight here on Chaz Draycott Media. Thank you very much for watching all season. Your viewership has been massively appreciated. Thanks to series sponsor Butt Kicker as well, and of course Mr. Hedge iRacing Photography, one of the championship partners. That's all from me, Chaz Draycott, and the World GR86 series. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. We'll see you again very, very soon. Good night.
4 French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. The 3 wide again, Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across, they're both in front of Milan and Pouget.
But before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see truck racing and they think, this is crazy, you know, these are 5-ton machines, 1200 horsepower brake. Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, you can look, and the drift is going off. Back there, go on ball with Ben Gregory now. I love it. 10.5 minutes gone. Senna Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.